Of course. Can you hear me now, guys? Guys,
We're out here. We're out here. Sorry, guys. So again,
can you guys hear me now? Press one in the chat if you can hear me.
okay, 5 in here, 3 likes. Hit the plus you.
All right, perfect,
Okay,
perfect,
great,
perfect,
great.
perfect. Pleasant good evening to one and all. Pleasant good evening to one and all. This is the one and only AJ is live of the respective angle alongside
AJ.
And it's been a rough week. It's been a very long week. We just gonna get right into the topics very, very fast. But just want to shout out to Latanya Weaver, Ingrid Latanya. Well,
Ingrid Gorier. Get
Ingrid
her
Gorier.
name
Sorry,
right.
my bad. Who's
And
Hacker
Hacker
Spawn? I
Spawn.
don't know who that is, but
Thanks for the support, guys.
for sure. Remember to always hit that like and share button. Share to your friends, your family members, all that you may know, because this is going to be a very interesting show today. And on today, what are we talking about? Well, we got a whole couple things to talk about.
We have a few things to talk about. There's been a lot going on in the world.
That's true. It's been a lot going on. And
as we talk about the George Floyd case, so we spoke about George Floyd, we have two more topics, sadly, that we must make everyone aware about for the 13-year-old young fella who was shot in, I believe, Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. But we got to do things play by play, just exactly how I put it in the description. We're going to do these things exactly like that. Number one, we have to definitely knock off this whole Larry Reid and Darryl Moore situation.
Him for last.
I mean,
you got to get the important news out first. Let's talk about the importance of what's going on, and then we can.
Oh, Ingrid said her last name is Gorier.
Excuse me, Ingrid. Forgive me. I am so sorry for that. You did go. Thank you. But let's get the importance of these things out the way. I feel like we should get those first, and then we can get a little laugh on later.
All right,
with Larry.
I'm just saying,
and his drama.
I just wanted to get this over and done with.
And hi, Darryl.
Well, shout out.
I didn't get a chance to say it to you last night, but hi.
Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Remember, yes, Adam Toledo was shot in Chicago.
Did I say Adam?
Yeah, Adam was shot in Adam Toledo was shot in Chicago. You know what?
Let me get my facts together.
And Daunte Wright was shot in Minneapolis.
Okay. Excuse me.
So thank you very much.
Thank you guys
for letting us know exactly who was shot where. Well, it's a lot of shootings been going on.
It really has been, and I'm really actually now catching up on speed because I didn't even know that these things happened. So I've been lost in everybody's sauce. But you did know, so what do you know?
Well, so far, right now, what I want to do is I want to start off with the video that very shocking video that is out there of the footage cam. Guys, bear with me. I'm not really too perfect on this StreamYard thing as yet, but I'll get there as time goes along on the respective angle show. We're going to get everything technically on the technical side. We're going to get it good and ready and popping and stuff like that. But to move further on that topic, it's been a lot of things going on in terms of police shooting unarmed Black kids.
Yes.
So it's very daunting.
Well, I would. Okay. Yes. Because in the other video of the 13-year-olds.
Hi, Clarissa. How you doing, Clarissa Pearson? Clarissa Person.
Get her name right. Get it right. We already got. we already got correct. Gorier. I like that last name. I actually like that.
Gorier.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Clarissa.
Yes, everyone in the chat, please go out of the live chat and hit that like button, hit that like, share the video, share the live stream, let everyone know that we are the Respective Angle Show and we are live right now. We're live in the studio right now. So moving forward, she said that's fine. Moving forward, on today, we're going to be talking about Adam Toledo. We're going to be talking about Daunte Wright. And of course, last but not least, we're going to have the discussion about Larry Reid lies. Larry Reid lies. And we're going to be having that discussion with Larry Reid versus Darryl Moore. So let's get right into it. So on today, we're going to pretty much start off with this video right here, the body cam footage of the shooting of Daunte Wright. It was released today. You may not hear any sound. You may or may not hear any sound, but we'll see what we can do on today. One second, folks. 1 second. As I said, I'm not too perfect with this thing here.
We're getting it. We got it.
Trying to get these things together. Bear with me. There it is. All right. Here's OBS. There it is.
And this would be Daunte.
This would be Daunte, right?
Okay.
All right. I don't know exactly what's going on with this whole entire thing here, but just to further elaborate, I'm pretty sure you guys saw the video. If you haven't seen the video, definitely go onto YouTube. It has been released. Also, the Adam Toledo shooting has been released. The body cam footage has been released. It's very. A lot of things have to change pertaining to the laws that has to do with police officers. We've seen it happen already before with George Floyd. We've seen it happen to George Floyd. Darryl, hey, what's up, Darryl? How you doing, man? How are you? What's going on, Mr. Darryl Moore?
Hello.
Hopefully he can definitely. I'm going to send you the link pretty soon, so that way you can come in on the chat. It's my first time actually using StreamYard, so I'm trying to get everything together when it comes down to the technical side of StreamYard. It's my first time using StreamYard, so anyways, it's 7 of you guys in here. Make sure and press that like button. But I'm going to continue what I was saying. When it comes down to policing, the type of training that, and mind you, with see, I'm getting the names mixed up. With what's his name?
George Floyd.
Yes, George Floyd. With George Floyd's case, it was very. I'd say the type of training that was provided, it's not following the guidelines of the training in the first place.
No.
I mean, you having a knee in someone's neck for over 9 minutes, and it's like blocking their breathing passageways and stuff like that. They can't breathe. And right now, as it stands, Derek Chauvin, let me make sure I get his name right. Derek Chauvin, he's not trying to testify right now. You know, it reminds me of a certain person that, knowing that they're guilty of a certain crime or certain crimes, that they don't want to speak on the behalf of their self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
in a case like that, I wouldn't want to talk about that in myself, honestly.
Oh man.
I didn't get
Yeah,
your
it is your fault. It is your fault.
Yeah, Mr. Darryl, it's your fault. He must have thought it was like so cool, and now he is Mr. Cigar Man himself.
Yep.
But it's all well. It's all well.
Hacker Spawn said George Floyd's killing was a crime. Daunte Wright's shooting was an accident. Adam Toledo's shooting was justified. And if you use some objective, then you'll come to the same conclusion. Well,
as far as Daunte Wright's case, okay, George Floyd was a killing, and that was a serious crime. Now, you as an officer, you mean to tell me that you don't know what side your holster is on to the side that your mace or your pepper spray is on? And I know it's a lot of thought process that you have to, it's like a 2-second thought where you have to like, okay, I have to make a decision, and she made the wrong decision. But is that really I don't want to say that she actually, wanted to kill this guy, young fellow, but it as an officer, you have to be more aware of the things that you're going into. And I do understand, because I look at certain things from both standpoints, where as an officer, you do have to make split decisions on what you need to do. And maybe she was, flustered and she took out the wrong side, and but it cost somebody his life. And so we have to be a little bit more aware of the things that we do, because we just had the George Floyd case. Now we're into another case.
And mind you, this happened 10 miles away from the courthouse.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And and here we go again, because they did say that he was tussling with the officers, and then after he got shot, he still went in his car and he drove away. So it's like,
I understand how to spawn opinion
a little.
If you get what I'm saying, like,
I get it.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And when it comes down to that particular shooting, my opinion is she has to be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be aware of your surroundings, aware of the things that's on your holster.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I wish I could have put up the picture. I should have been more better prepared, but I was really in a rush to get everything done today. My personal opinion, there are two different distinct colors between your weapon, your service weapon, and your taser. The taser is bright yellow, and her service weapon is black. Now, for the amount of time that I've seen the weapon that was discharged, it was discharged for quite a while before that shot was let off. So what I'm saying is, in her mind at that time, she didn't think to look at the weapon that was in her hand. Like, it's a distinct feeling. Like, if you get what I'm saying, the object itself, it looks totally different.
Things.
Yeah, it looks totally different. Number one,
right.
Like the taser weapon, it looks like more of a fatter object.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And then the service weapon, which is her 9mm revolver, not her revolver, sorry. Her firearm, it looks totally different and it feels totally different, if you get what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is the difference in between the two in her hand at that time. You mean to say that she couldn't feel the difference in the weapon or see the difference in color? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then for the space of time that she had the weapon in her hand,
right,
she didn't decide to look down at the type of weapon that she had or discharge from her utility belt.
That's true. That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying.
We got to give her some type of blame, obviously, because now these cops do have to be accountable for the shootings and the things that they are doing in the split seconds that they do make them. And I do understand, because my friend is actually a cop. And so I feel for her all the time when she has to go out there and let's say you have somebody that's that's not doing the right thing, or that is acting up, what do you do then? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you have to really make those split decisions, and those split decisions can cost either your life, the person's life, or both. So you really do have to, make split decisions, but you need to be accountable. That's what that is.
And she has been an officer for 26 years. Actually, she's a training officer, and she had an officer in training at that point, at that moment in time.
Well, then she's training them a little,
right? Like,
she needs a little bit more training herself if that's how you training, because you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't call for like a big riot or anything like that. Does she need to be accountable for her actions? Yes, but does the sentence need to be ridiculous, or do we have to say, oh well, Black Lives Matter or this Lives Matter? It doesn't even have to be that big of a protest. She just needs to be held accountable for that, because like Hacker Spawn said, it's not an intent. It's not like she went out there and was like, I'm going out there to shoot somebody today. It was a split decision where she made a mistake, which I'm sure she regrets, unlike Mr. Chauvin, where he, blatantly just was on somebody's neck and didn't give a crap.
Exactly. And then in the case of Adam Toledo, what do you guys think? Since you are so like, all right, I get your opinions, but now we're going down, they're going down in age when it comes down to these kind of crimes. Now we have a whole 13-year-old boy, a teenage kid. You know what I'm saying? And we have what? I have a 14-year-old. We have a 14-year-old. So, to think about a mother who's going to be left without her child right now, the first instinct for you is to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to see the whole entire video in its entirety or the details of the video, but in my mind, I'm thinking, did he shoot at the officers or something like that?
No, he didn't shoot at the officers. There was a report of, as what I was reading, there was a report of some gunfire in his area, and the cops were called. And when they got to the scene, it was like a dark alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess they thought they saw him with a gun, and they told him to stop. When he started running, they started running after him. So it didn't take long for everything to happen as soon as the cop came on the scene. And they thought they saw him throw a gun on the sideline, but when he turned around and put his hands up, there was no gun in his hand. But there was a gun on the floor. So I'm not sure if it was his. We're not sure where that gun came from, but it looked like he threw a gun behind a fence, and then when he put his hands up, the cop shot. So yeah, there goes another, senseless shooting of a poor 13-year-old that didn't need to go through that, especially when his mom was saying that. You see, that's another thing. These kids and how they respond to cops, and I think you have to teach your kids nowadays. It sucks, but I think you have to teach your kids nowadays how to deal with cops as they approach you, and as they're talking to you, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, because a lot of things to these cops feels aggression. Like they feel aggressive behavior coming from, and it doesn't matter what it is. You could be a Black child, a Puerto Rican child. I feel like they always feel like if you start talking back, there's some type of aggression involved, to where they feel like I'm gonna have to shoot, or I have to take my gun out. And so you guys have to. It's not just us having to put our stuff into our kids, but the police officers need to either be retrained or something to that effect, because we can't keep having this same thing happening over and over and over again. It sucks now that we have to talk to our kids younger and younger, 12, 13, 14, because when they go outside with their friends, look, my son just wanted to go outside, and I'm just so nervous, because you never know if a cop meets up with the child, what's going to happen. And these kids, they move off of their own instinct instead of knowing exactly what's right or wrong. So, things happen.
Oh, well, we are talking about Chicago, so now I'm getting kind of like the gist of the story. So Hacker Spawn said he then turned towards So he said, let's start from his first comment. He said that he watched both 10-minute videos of the body cam and the surveillance camera. He had a gun, and the officer didn't see him drop it. And then he said that he then turned towards the officer, and at that point,
The officer was supposed to decide if he wants to
neutralize the
neutralize the
threat
threat
or
and go
and go
home.
home and resign in the back alley. Well, and then Sandra said that the young boy used to sneak out of the house and hang around with
I
those gang
actually did
members.
read that. He ran away from home, and his mom. He just came home, and then he ran back out again. I was like, sheesh, these kids are. It's like younger and younger, and I don't know what he was getting into on his. See, and his mom was like, yeah, he's playing Legos and all these other things like that. You're not sure what your kids are into. You don't know everything that your kids are doing. You don't know everything that they do outside with their friends. So Johnny wasn't. He's not always a good boy.
Well, I understand that. That I understand 100%. And you know, us as parents, we got to do better in raising our children. Back in the days when we were growing up, we had a lot of discipline. We had a lot of discipline that was involved in raising us at the end of the day. So, with that being said, I'm not saying we got to blame the parents, but we have to keep our eyes on our children and make sure that we're raising them properly
Absolutely.
and train them in a way. The Bible says, train up a child in a way he should go. When he becomes a man, he drops all childish things and he does what he's supposed to do as a mature man at the end of the day, or so the scripture says. So we have to train our kids properly. We have to train our children properly.
That's true.
And try to keep them away from the criminal elements. That is, I mean, there's no avoiding what's on the outside.
No, absolutely not.
There's no avoiding what's on the outside, and we as parents, we really have to learn how to get into the proper connection with our children, so that way they can go the way that they're supposed to go and not go astray. We're talking about a 13-year-old boy here, 13
Yes.
years old, and now because he wanted to do what he wanted to do, now he has lost his life. It's one thing growing up that a couple of my mentors, they suggested to me or advised me to, and they would tell me there's two ways to go out in these streets: either jail or 6 feet under. And I took heed to that, and I said, you know what? From my point of view and from what I've been seeing outside on the street, they were absolutely right. That gang life thing, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. It's not worth being a part of. It's not worth being in, because the people that are supposed to be over you in a gang, they're not truly looking out for you the way that they're supposed to be or the way that they should. They're actually encouraging you to get more into criminal activity.
Mm.
And now the ages are getting younger and younger and younger. So much so that these things happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're absolutely right, Sandra. Blood in, dead out. So, we're just gonna have to wait and see what this case is gonna unfold and what's gonna take place with this case at this point. Um, what else? What else can I say?
We want to know y'all feedback. We want to know any questions or anything. I really feel like justice needs to be served in both cases. as I said, it doesn't need to be like, this long thing because there was no intent, but justice does need to be served. We need to start seeing cops being a little bit more accountable because there was cops that do things that don't get accountable, that they don't take their accountability for their actions, and we never see them get arrested. We always see them walk. So yeah, we need to start seeing. It sucked that it took George Floyd for us to see some type of justice starting to happen here, and for Black lives to actually matter. But let's hope.
Let's hope. Let's watch and see. Right now, I'm keeping myself posted to this George Floyd case, and as it stands right now, the officer that committed the crime doesn't want to. He don't want to testify.
They're trying to find other reasons as to why George Floyd died in the first place. They're trying to see if there's any other avenues. Was it a heart attack? Was it this? Was it that? No, it was your knee on his neck that made him, pass away. And you guys need to get it together. Like, it's an open and shut case. He knew what he was doing. At the end of the day, it might have been a lot that George Floyd was doing on that day, or he probably was a little bit, he was probably a little bit too much, should I say. But I really do think that that's the open and shut case for me.
For me as well. Hank Response said, I think society as a whole needs a change. That's true. Mm-hmm. But the change needed does not come with more training or less police, as in defund the police. That's absolutely true. We still need the police officers to do the job that they were called to do. There's a lot of crimes being committed every day, and we need the police for that at the end of the day. So I absolutely agree with you with that one.
For the police to be less aggressive, they need to feel. Well, we need to feel safe too. I agree with that statement halfway, because we need to feel protected too. And right now, we're not feeling protected by the police. Actually, people are fearing the police more than feeling protection from them. Like, I don't feel protected from no cop. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen if I turn my back wrong, or I look like I pull out a lip gloss out of my pocket. So I don't feel safe with them around, to be honest with you. And no, we don't need to defund them or like to get rid of cops, but there needs to be something that needs to be done, because change does come with and I kind of don't agree with that training stuff. They need more training. There's things that's in the academy that you were not taught. So when you go outside in the streets, you don't act like a fool and stand on somebody, because that wasn't a part of his training to be on his neck for that long. What part of the training did that happen? Or running up in people's houses and shooting them. Like, what part of training is that? There's a lot of things that cops do and they do it because they're cops and they feel like there's no repercussions for the things that they do, so they just do it. No, we need more in place things, or if a cop does something, we need more justice being served. That's what needs to happen. Like, these are things that need to happen in order for us to feel safe and for the cops to feel safe. Because I feel like, a lot of times, not regardless of the race, I feel like sometimes when you are aggressive towards the cops, they tend to act the same way. And so you never know what the outcome can be. So it's all about being smart when you go out there with the cops, and what you need to do or what you should do, as opposed to being aggressive or having an attitude or cursing them out, because certain things don't have to be like that. I've seen people pulled over and the conversation goes great and they get to go home. So what happened to those people? What did they do different?
I mean, I got pulled over yesterday.
I hear you get pulled over a few times. I mean, we've been together for a long time.
And you pulled over yesterday going across the bridge, the toll bridge, and it was the Well, those are officers too as well. They have guns and badges and stuff like that. And the officer simply pulled me over. And when he walked up to my door, he was like, I said, "What did you pull me over for?" Very gently, very nicely. So, "What did you pull me over for?" He said, "Where's your front plate?" Because I have the plate in the window because I'm not able to screw it into the front bumper. He said, "Where's your front plate?" And he was very, very kind, very, very nice. I said, "It's right here in the windshield." So he said, "Okay, no problem. Where's your inspection?" I said, "Officer, I just got the vehicle 2 weeks ago. I just got it registered, and this is a bus, so I needed to get a certain kind of inspection." And he didn't know anything about that. So I said, "See, I just taught you something."
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "Okay, no problem. Can I get your license, your registration?" Gave it to him. No problem. He looked at it, said, "I'm giving you a warning. Please get the plate back on the bumper." Gave back my information, and I went about my business. So not every encounter with police officers are going to be the same aggressiveness. You get what I'm saying? It's not going to be always aggressive. Certain officers, they know their training, they know how to proceed with certain situations, and certain officers just don't.
Yeah, I honestly do believe that some people become cops just to have that power or to 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 have that takeover spirit. I do agree with you guys on here that people are fed up with cops. We are fed up with them, but I do believe if we both do certain things on both of our parts, that everything could be fine. Just like you said, there's plenty of times when you get pulled over and I'm on the other line, and I can be a little like nervous, but then again, I know you know how to handle yourself, and it's all about how you handle the situation and handle the cops and talk to them. If you're not aggressive, there's no reason for them to be aggressive. What are they going to be aggressive about?
That's true.
You understand? If I'm talking to you as a normal civilized human being, you know what it is that sometimes people get like, okay, if a cop comes up to you,
and they shouldn't be pulled over in the first place.
Right, that's exactly what it is. They have this mindset of I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be. But then who are you to feel like you shouldn't be if the cop if they feel like they're pulling you over for something that's a part of their job? So if there's a mistake, correct the mistake. But it doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be in a non-diplomatic way. People don't know how to respond to things nowadays. And we just came from church on Sunday where our pastor said a lot of times where what we're thinking comes straight out your mouth. Mm-hmm. And that is so true. And like the first thing that people start to think, is what they say out of their mouths. And it for as if I was a cop, I know it would be aggressive to me, because if I'm pulling you over for a reason, just stop, give me your stuff, do what you have to do, and you can go home and I can go home and we can both, do what we do at the end of the day. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Certain things don't have to be a showdown, but some people make it a showdown. And as a cop, if I have a split decision to make, I think I'm gonna make it. Because it's my life or your life. That's so I'm not agreeing with the cops all the way, but in a sense, some people can be very ignorant out there, and it doesn't help the situation as a whole. So we got to do better, everybody. And that's not just us as cops, it's everybody. We do have to do better, period.
It is definitely all about attitude. Yep. It is all about attitude.
It is. So when people feel like they they're the highest thing, and you up here when you need to kind of like be down here a little bit, because you're not higher than this person. This person has something that's in their pocket that they can automatically do whatever it is to you. You understand what I'm saying? Be humble. That's what we lack nowadays. Humility, humbleness. We don't know how to be kind to one another. That's what it is nowadays. And as soon as, like I said, a cop, that's somebody that's in blue, whatever color it is, they walk up to you, you feel like you're not supposed to. Why are you coming to me? Why are you talking to me? That's your first attitude. And it's not the best attitude to have, because off rip, it looks bad for them. And they have all right to sit here and think, you know what, I may not make it home to my kids. And trust me, as a cop, I'm going to try to make sure I make it home to my kids for the 20-something years, 30-something years. I don't care what it is. you got to make it home to your kids just as much as a regular person wants to make it home to their family as well. So you got to do better. That's what I feel.
There are 8 of you in the chat. Click that X button and click that like button, share, subscribe. Do that for me, please. Do that for me. Thank you. Thank you. Show us some support. Okay. So let's move on to the heavy topic of the day.
Oh, shout out to your father, Hacker Spawn.
Yes.
For the many years that he has been a police officer, I salute him, and keep up the great job. 40 years of being an officer is that must have been hard. That really must have been a hard job, and you only pull out his service weapon twice. That's pretty good.
That's really good for his
and
record.
That means that as a cop, he doesn't have to. He's nice. He's there's some cops out there. Oh my goodness. And you would wonder how they get to the years that they've gotten to, and it's because of what they do for their community, how they are in their community,
Absolutely.
How they treat people, and it's all about your rapport with people. If you have that, because I've seen cops go around, they have basketball teams for kids, and help out in the community. Just the other day, we saw cops and kids painting a store outside.
Yeah, it was painting over the graffiti that was outside the store.
If we start to build stuff with the community and
community affairs,
start doing things with the cops and not fearing them so much, and them getting to know the people that's in their community. I mean, it's a lot because this is New York, but at the same time, just try to have that one-on-one with each other. Like I just feel like everybody needs to change up how they are in life, because people are too, got a lot of asses on the shoulders. You need to take your ass off and put it back down here. So now I'm sorry, I just had to put that in there because I did see that. And you, as an EMS worker, I hope, and it's my last thing, guys. I just wanted to, as an EMS worker, that's a great thing to continue to save lives and continue doing what you're doing.
Especially in these times here with this pandemic.
That's right. I definitely,
I salute you, brother.
Continue doing what you're doing. I tip my hat off to you, because I know it's been a lot, and I know it's been rough with a lot of things that's been going on in the
Sandra
world.
said, is crime really up 77% this year in New York? Definitely is. It has been on the rise. It has definitely been on the rise ever since, I guess, people start thinking that this vaccine is doing work. So, they're going back to the norm that they wanted to, the normal that they were looking for.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's my perception to this whole situation in New York. Crime is definitely up 70%, 77% this year, for sure. No, that's not a problem. That's not a problem.
It's all right.
It is definitely.
Shout out to your family that lives in New York.
All right, so
Mrs.
Let's get into this topic here. I don't know if Darryl's still on the chat. I'm not sure if he's here. I was trying to figure out how do I send him this invite to this link, because I wanted to have this discussion.
He's been dying for this topic, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually been okay. So I might be a little silent. Might be, not necessarily. Because he actually did say something yesterday as he was talking to Mr. Darryl, and I was one of the people to tell him. I said, Mr. Reid look a little. Why you watch him? It's like certain characteristics, certain things was not becoming, and so I just thought to myself, like, why are you, watching him or entertaining him as a person? And as I got a little bit into Larry, because I wasn't that much, but he was a little funny, which I agree, he was a little funny. Don't get me wrong.
Darryl, I gotta. I'm trying to figure. You gotta give me your email so I can send you the invite.
But
that's the Respective Angle show, or the Respective Angle at gmail.com. You can send me an email there so I can send you the link. Go ahead.
Oh, right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, because I actually want Mr. Darryl on this topic as well. So, but yeah, I didn't understand everything that was going on with Larry, and as the certain things go on, and I listen to certain things that he has to say, and then my husband brought Mr. Moore on, and as I started listening to Mr. Moore, I was like, oh my good, he's saying all the right things that makes me, ask question Larry Reid in the first place. And then everything started speak. I said, Lord, this happened rather quick. At first it was kind of like Larry Reid just a little bit. And then you started to learn certain things about him. And it's like, Lord, Father, like if I had some pearls on, I would clutch them. Like, why? Mr. Reid, what is going on? I don't know. And I don't like it.
And he was just like so into the pursuit. I'm going to send it to you right now, Darryl. He was like so into the pursuit of outing people.
Right. He had a lot of, this person and that person and who about the church and I did hear that he was molested, but he didn't go too far into it. He did say he was molested by somebody in the church. And I said, Lord, like, poor Mr. Reid, like, I didn't know that there's a lot of things that follows behind the nonsense that he does and touching little boys. And I have 2 boys myself. Larry.
Go ahead.
No, I gave him the look. I just said, Larry, I don't play that with mine. You better go ahead.
I'm sending you the link right now, Larry.
Like, I don't know too much about the things that they talked about, but the things that I've learned about him, he's a liar. He don't help his mama out. He done hit his poor mama, Lord, Father.
It's one thing we don't do, especially as Caribbean folk. You're crazy.
Yeah, you don't listen to that yet, because I am actually Brooklyn born, but my whole family is from Guyana. So I pretty much consider myself a Caribbean person myself, although I am still American. But yeah, I still don't disrespect. I could never. I get the taste slapped out of my mouth so fast, it's not even funny. So I don't understand the disrespect and all those other things and how he treated his wife when they were together. Like, as a person, he kind of disgusts me.
It's a damn shame. I was once, my whole thing is, I'm trying to compose this thing here. My whole thing is, I got you, Darryl. My whole thing is really and truly, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. When the other day, I pretty much went over to his live, and I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I went over to his live, and he really put me on a block list. Truly did. He put me on a block list. And Darryl, did you get the link? So during Darryl's show, I went over to Larry Reid's show because he was actually live at the same time as Darryl, which I found was kind of shady because it seems like he was trying to omit a lot of truths. And Darryl, did you get the? Oh, there he is. There he goes. The cigar vlogging.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing? Let me see if I can change this. Perfect. As I said, Darryl, you got to forgive me. I'm just trying to get this StreamYard thing together. I'm not as professional as you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't no problem. Ain't no
All
problem.
right.
And I didn't
So,
get your husband to smoking cigars. That's something he picked up on his own.
oh my goodness.
He started ever since he started watching you.
He on a transportation company threw me all the way up under the bus. Now you side eyeing me when you see me thinking I had your husband out here smoking.
And you smoking one right now.
He threw me all the way under the bus. We just met. He lit me
Sorry,
up.
bro.
He sure did.
It's very, you see, you're doing it right now. It's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what do they get out of that? Like,
yeah, he was intrigued.
It's very relaxing. It just.
I agree.
Because when I lived in New York, I tell my kids all the time how much I miss it. I would always go somewhere and just sit by the water, somewhere either by. People would think I was crazy. I would go over into not Jersey City. What's the other one? I think it's Hackensack, where you can overlook Harlem on the other side of the river, and I just sit there and watch. I take the ferry boat over.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just telling everyone that while you were live the other day, I went over to Larry Reid's show because he was actually live at the same time you were, like at the same minute, very same hour, which was kind of shady, as I was saying. And I asked him a question. I only asked one question. I said, so when are you going to address the situation that Mr. Darryl Moore is talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I could even get another keystroke in, blocked. That was it.
But y'all know he said he's good for blocking people. So,
hi, Kimberly Harper. How you doing? Everything all right? Everything good?
Mm-hmm.
He's good for blocking people.
As I said, I can't wait for this one, man. I can't wait for the interview. I can't wait. I'm
setting that up now as we speak. And so I can go to him and interview him in a space that's going to be comfortable for him. And the story is a lot deeper than I've been letting out. I've been keeping some stuff back because I don't want to reveal the identity to Larry before the interview happens, because he probably got ideas of who this person is, but he not for certain. And this guy has endured some grotesque stuff at the hands of Larry Reid. I mean, just stuff that I can't even stand to even mention sometimes.
Yeah, you've mentioned it a couple times already. You mentioned it. Trust me, you mentioned it.
Can I ask a question? Because I've asked my husband this a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that you get this question. You hear this question a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you say to people that say that you might be obsessed with talking about Larry?
I get that all the time, and it's so and I get it from the people that give him money. You're obsessed with that man. You're this. You're jealous of him. And when I come back with the same response all the time, that's when they leave me alone. I say, so am I supposed to be jealous of a man that has 2 open lawsuits totaling $600,000, a police report of forced fondling and child molestation, 4 bankruptcies, 13 failed businesses, and he done moved 36 times. So I'm supposed to be jealous of him, and he got fake college degrees, and he's around here calling himself Dr. Larry Reid. So you saying I'm obsessed and jealous of him? Okay.
Absolutely not.
I said,
can't be jealous of that.
Yeah, I said, have I molested anybody? Have I been arrested for molesting anybody? Have I been sued by anybody? So you tell me, who's jealous of who? Have I tried to set anybody up on a fake murder plot? So obviously he's obsessed with me. He took put together a crew to try to frame me. So it's the other way around. I'm obsessed with somebody. Only thing I'm doing is exposing somebody that's done something illegal. But they say I'm obsessed. But the one thing that makes them really leave me alone, I say, if I'm obsessed by him, what do you say about him and all these people that he attacks in the gospel industry? What about those?
That is true.
I said, what about how he's gone after Donnie McClurkin, how he's gone after Marvin Sapp, Kirk Franklin? What about these other gospel artists? Or what about these preachers? If you saying I'm obsessed with him, isn't he obsessed with them? He keeps going after them.
That is so correct. And what I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, listen, man, at the end of the day, he conjured up a false narrative for this man to almost do life in prison. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that right there, with that I ain't gonna lie, if that was done to me as I said on my other video, I'd have done the same thing too.
They tried to set me up on 25 to life, bro. 25 to life.
Oh my.
I'd have done the same thing. I would have done the same exact thing because here what? I got a lot of connections myself. I'm not too sure if it's as much as connections as you, Darryl, because you got a lot of info. You know what I'm saying? When I grow up, I want to be like Darryl more because you got a lot of information. I don't know how it is you did what you did, but I guess it alludes to.
I'll tell anybody the secret when somebody. It's not really a secret. The same way I found him is how credit bureaus and law enforcement find you. Everybody has a public record trail. If you've ever had a ticket, one thing always leads to another thing. If you just have the time and know what to look for. If you've had tickets, if you've ever been arrested for anything, if you've ever been sued for anything, all of that stuff is public record. You just start cross-referencing. You first start, go to Google, let's type in a person's name and see what pops up. Or you might say, if you go to Google and say Larry Reid live court cases, boom, there it is. That's the start. And then that's going to lead to previous addresses. That's going to lead to bankruptcies. That's going to lead to anybody, like if you go on YouTube right now and you type up my name and Larry Reid, your channel is going to pop up because you've done stories about me and Larry Reid, other people's. So it's just going to be a laundry list. You're going to create a trail of information.
Right.
And then like certain people do videos and they try to brush them off as being crazy or jealous. But you listen to what the people are saying, you reach out to that person like, hey, well, I was also looking at this same topic you talking about. You're like, hey, what's your email? Then next thing you know, they shoot you emails. A lot of the stuff I got on Larry is from people that grew up with Larry from his high school and childhood days. It's 2 or 3 people in his inner circle right now. He has no idea, and I'm never gonna tell. He ticked them off. So they
spewing out information.
Yeah. And that's how he comes on. He think he's hiding over there in Patreon. And I have the link. So before he even logs out, the people that's in the Patreon have sent me the link. I've downloaded the videos. He'll say stuff to them over there that he don't say in public. Or you look up, like let's say if you AJ's a pastor that he don't like and you his first lady. And let's just say for whatever reason you had an affair. Or let's just say y'all didn't have an affair. Let's just say y'all had an open marriage. That was nobody's business. You date who you want, he date who he want. And he gonna come out, he gonna put it all over in Patreon. Well, AJ's seeing this woman, he's married to so-and-so, and she's seeing this man. But little do they know that y'all already had this agreement.
Darryl, don't get no ideas. I'm on the straight and narrow, bro. I'm on the straight and narrow. Don't get no hypotheticals.
I'm just saying as a joke. I'm just saying, but if that's I know. But yes, Kimberly is right. He does have a lot of evictions on his record, a lot of court evictions. That's one way you start a paper trail, because every time you get evicted, and especially down in Georgia or southern states, you have to go to court before they evict you.
That's true. That's over here too.
Over here too, you have to go to court.
Huh?
In New York too, you have to go to court.
Yeah, and I know in New Jersey you have to go to landlord-tenant court. And New Jersey is the worst place in the world. I would never be a landlord in New Jersey because you almost have to get the National Guard to get somebody up out of your property in New Jersey.
Wow. Well, you have to get the sheriff over here to get somebody out your property.
Right. Yeah. In Georgia too, either the sheriff or either the county marshal or whatever. But you have to go through hoops to get somebody evicted in New Jersey. I would never rent anything to anybody in New Jersey. It's the worst.
Or New York.
Yeah, I mean, but New York's laws are better, but New Jersey's is god awful.
Oh my. Ouch.
I see. Let me see. A transcript is on. Top of the evening, top of the afternoon. Sorry. Top of the afternoon to you. Sandra.
He made me laugh the other night.
My previous videos is on the respective angle. There's two channels actually that we're on simulcasting right now. That's the respective angle show, and then the respective angle. The respective angle is the mobile version of the show, where you'll see me driving around, saying my comments and stuff like that, or how I feel about certain situations. So you can, check between the two.
Well,
So back to you, Mr. Darryl.
Go ahead.
So what are we expecting for tonight? Give us a little hint.
don't let him spew out all the good.
Well, see, Friday nights is where all of us get together, and we've been shooting from the hip. We just talk about current events. We're going to be talking about what's going on in Minneapolis. Of course, I'm going to talk about Larry and everybody else because he's a trending topic now because he's gone viral. He's gone viral. It's people in the gospel industry. I've been looking at people doing videos about it, and I'm like, oh, wow! I had no idea that it was going to take off like that. That's how I found you. I was like, I said. I saw my name and I looked. I said, oh God, I hope he's not an LRL about to attack me for 20 minutes. And I saw you sitting there driving, and I started listening. And I was driving down the road, and you was having me laughing so hard I had to pull over in the gas station. And I was like, you just told me out of face, like, well, he got the facts, buddy. What are you going to say? And that accent was hitting me. I said, I know he's not Jamaican. I said, which island? I said, where is he from? And then when you got to that magical word, when you said truth instead of truth, I said, he's French.
That got me rolling. Up to the day, I was
that's how I know in New York. Like I was saying the other night, I said, Perth and boy. Y'all say Perth and boy. Never put the TH sounds. Y'all do not even bother with them. That T is as far as y'all going. Anything in and TH. There's going to be a hard emphasis on the T. That's how I know a trendy person from somebody else. That's how I distinguish.
Oh my God!
Never fail. And Haitians, super fast, real expressive with their hands when they talk. Jamaicans.
Yeah, I go to work.
Yeah. Jamaicans. Even when they're in a good mood, it sound like they're yelling at you.
Yeah, they always sound angry. Everybody says that same thing.
They sound like they're mad. That's why you have to watch them and see what kind of mood they got.
Yeah, but I heard you talking about it the other day on your other live. I was like, no, Darryl, you got it wrong. Because he was like, I think he's Jamaican. I'm like, oh, I looked at my wife. I said, he's talking about me.
Yeah, but when I played it back, I said, wait a minute. He didn't. He said truth. That's Trini. Because when I lived in New Jersey, when I first moved up that way, I used to live over in Newark. God help me. And on the end of my block, one way was a bunch of it was Dominicans. On the other end was Brazilian. They had restaurants on each end. In the middle of my block was Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans, Haitians, and Trini. So I saw all these flags from these different places, and you would hear different accents. And that's how I started learning people's, cultures better. And the guy said, how you know? And he said, how you know I'm from Trinity? And he said, well, did you see the flag in my window? I said, no. I said, the way you talk. I said, yo, when you say TH words, y'all never pronounce the H. He started laughing at cho. He's an old dude. He's about 65, 70 years old. He moved to the country like when he was 19. He just stayed and been working. So, I mean, I just learned a lot. That's why I was able to pick it up. I kept listening to you. I said, that guy got to be Trini, or either one of his parents is Trini.
No, I was born there, actually. I was born in Trinidad, and I came up here when I was 6 years old. So, the accent is still there. It's still there. I can bring it up. Like I said, I can bring it down already. But, it's not going anywhere at all.
Because I guarantee you probably, when you home around your people, boom.
Yeah, it does come out. It does come out all the time. But when I'm outside in the professional world, I have to keep it professional because they're not going to understand me as much. So I have to keep it professional.
But you know what I learned about New York when I lived there, I have gone a whole day, sometimes 2 days, and never heard anybody else speak English. So New York is just such a melting pot of different people's cultures. I'm like, you really shouldn't have to even worry about it because when you're out and about New York, you're gonna hear every language spoken that's out there possible. So only people probably get mad when you maybe like if you down in the Lower East Side somewhere or something like that. But if you're in Bronx, you're gonna hear Spanish. South Bronx Spanish. You in Brooklyn, you're gonna hear a lot of Caribbean dialects. Especially in that Crown Heights. So you was laughing at me the other night. I was terrified riding in that dollar van. I was getting up there. Joker had a van so ragged the door was held together by a rope.
Darryl. It's not all right. Let me give you the concept of the rope. Okay. The rope is to close the door. The rope wasn't holding the door. I know exactly what you're talking about. They closed the door with the rope. It's not holding it together. It's just it looked like it was tight.
I know what you're talking about. How they pull it with the rope to make it come close quicker. I'm talking about this one. The lock had broken on his door. You know the door was strong. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm talking about when this cat.
Oh no!
The lock had broken. That was how he had pulled the door up, and then he wrapped the rope around a couple times. But
when
you get up to speed, the door would be slapping back and forth, and I'm saying like, "Oh God, we ain't gonna make it, God. We ain't gonna make it." And then his door, the lock had broke on his door, and he was locking his door. Once he got inside with the screwdriver, he'd reach out the window and lock it with the screwdriver. I'm like, "Oh God, we ain't gonna make it." I said maybe I should have just broke down and paid that $5.50 for that for that card, and just popped my tail on that train and went back. Gone back to the station. I said, "This ain't gonna end well. I'm gonna die right over here in Crown."
Oh my God, he's really a comedian for real. He's really
for
real,
a comedian. Man. I was like, "Oh God, I ain't gonna make it." And the girl I was dating at the time, we went to some place. She was getting her hair done at this Dominican hair shop. So you know her hair was straight as a piece of paper when they finished it. It was so funny. Like took her to a Dominican.
This is mine.
She went to a Dominican hair shop and they pressed your hair. I mean, bone hard. And it was a Jamaican girl in there. There was every bit of 4'9", standing on a milk crate pressing her hair. I said, "Oh God, I can't make this up." We was in the heart of Brooklyn. I'm trying to think of that little shopping plaza. What's this? As soon as you come across the bridge.
Kings Plaza?
Not Kings Plaza.
No, as soon as you come across the bridge out of Manhattan.
Which one? You have two bridges. You got Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan Bridge.
Manhattan Bridge.
Manhattan Bridge, that would be downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was Dallas Barbecue. It's right around the corner, not too far.
Downtown Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm out there with all them shops and stuff, right near the Macy's. So I walked around the corner to that Dominican shop. They had like 40 hair dryers in this place, and everybody was waiting like 2 and 3 deep to get under the hair dryer. I'm like, this don't make no sense right here. I mean, and then all you could smell was burnt hair because they press it bone hard. Burnt hair everywhere. I went outside. I'm smoking my cigar. I'm smoking my cigar to get the smell of burnt hair out my nose. I'm like, oh my God. And that little girl was standing on that milk crate, a little Jamaican girl.
No, you didn't. Don't come here. I don't have burnt hair. This is natural hair. This is just human.
No, but it's just that they press it so hard. That's the joke. If you go to a Dominican barbershop, the guys all edge you over the razor. You might get cut around your hairline with the razor blade. If you go to a Dominican beauty shop, they're gonna have your hair so stiff that even when you lay down, it's gonna be still crunching. It's gonna be crunching when they finish pressing. Well, and I thought
they use a lot of heat.
Yeah, I thought they was making that up until I went with my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, they ain't lying. These women be in there pressing hair so hard, and then you just smell it burning.
Like, yeah,
you just hear it searing, like
yeah. You ain't gonna have no split ends when you leave there. All your ends gonna be burnt and even. And all the old Puerto Rican ladies, I don't know why they dye their hair like this burgundy color, and all of them look mean.
Yeah. That's New York. Only in New York, man. Only in New York.
That's what I miss it. Oh, I miss all of that. I miss that. The only thing I don't miss about New York, sometimes because I'm from down south, is just sometimes going outside and looking up in the sky and actually seeing trees and stuff like that. After a while, looking left and right, and all you see is blocks and blocks and blocks. It seems to sometimes feel like you're closed in. And that's why I spend so much time going to places like Dumbo and what's that? Battery Park. And anywhere there was a park, I would hop a train for no reason. But believe it or not, I've never
Can't hear him. Where'd
Oh,
he
I'm
go?
sorry. Somebody
Oh, there you go.
tried to call me while I'm talking to you. I never went to Central Park other than the one time we were shooting a movie out there. But that's the one place I never went. I didn't even realize until I moved to New York that Harlem is a part of Manhattan. I thought Harlem was a borough. Never knew that.
Darryl, really?
What? What'd I do?
You thought Harlem was a borough?
I did. But see, I'm from Atlanta, man. I didn't know until I
Right.
moved. See, I had never been. So I didn't know.
What is Atlanta like? I actually want to visit.
Atlanta, now Atlanta is like what I call a southern. It used to be a truly southern city before the Olympics came. Now Atlanta is a true international city. You have all cultures. A lot of Dominican people, not Dominican, I'll tell you about. A lot of Caribbean people live, and Nigerian people live in Atlanta. Of course, a lot of Spanish-speaking people. Most of them are from places like Guatemala and places like that. A few Brazilian, but there's a lot of culture down there now. But you're gonna see a lot of Nigerians, a lot of Jamaicans, Trinis, Haitians, Bahamians. Because believe it or not, when they have something like a Juve. Oh my God, I miss Juve. But they have something like that in Atlanta. But
Pretty sure you do.
Oh my God, I miss Juve. Good God,
Best time of the year.
I wonder why.
But for some reason they keep shortening the route. I don't like that. I don't like that. I need to see my nakedness on more and more blocks. I don't need nothing.
You see, just ask the question. You see, I told you. I thought I wonder why.
See, I like the fact that you as transparent as you are, as opposed to Larry and his nonsense. Because you done spoke it all.
I don't have nothing to hide. I tell everybody I drink, I cuss, I smoke, I do all that. So why am I gonna sit out here and pretend that I'm something I'm not? Either you're gonna like me or you don't. And if you don't, the internet is full of places you can go and leave me alone.
That is so true.
And
that is so true.
That was one of the things that actually that it's like it was a gravitational pull for me to your channel. You know, I was like, yo, this guy is so transparent. He has nothing to hide. He's funny. And he don't act funny, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say too much, but he don't act funny. I ain't gotta be having no question. When I watch you, my wife don't have to say, why are you watching this guy? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just honest, man, because at the end of the day, if I learned the hard way, if you just tell the truth, whatever it is.
The truth.
That's right. I'm T-Rute. Truth. That's better than the truth. That's the truth.
That's right.
That's good in America and abroad.
Of course. It's international.
Yeah. If you're just honest, man, you don't have to think about it. You ask me something today, you come back 10 years later. Darryl, you remember? Yeah. And then I tell you the exact same story. But if I lie to you, then I got to come up with 2 more lies to cover the first lie. But if if I'm just honest with you from the jump, either it may end up good for me, it may end up bad. But at the end of the day, I don't have to sleep with one eye open, and I don't have to worry about somebody finding me out. If I'm just honest and it's over with.
That is true.
Because I guarantee you, the two of you and me, we go to sleep, we sleep peacefully at night. But somebody like a Larry Reid who's lying, you can't rest at night because you always thinking somebody's going to get you or somebody's going to expose you.
Which is happening right now.
Right, because you got to continue your lie. You can't be your authentic self in public. You always got to walk around with this shield up. You always got to be coming up with a new lie to cover the old lie. And you got to keep reinventing. You can never be really who you are. You got to be what the public thinks you are.
Right.
And that's a miserable way to live. And then you throw in, you got kids on top of that.
I could only imagine how they feel because they're pretty much seeing that their father's all over YouTube right now, all over social media, all over the internet. And, you know, I could only imagine what they have to say amongst each other, not even to their father, because they ain't gonna dare tell their father anything, but amongst each other, what the conversation is between them. They probably having the conversation.
Yeah, that's right. And imagine, all jokes aside, imagine the mental trauma of 2 girls seeing that dynamic of what his their dad does, what mama's been through, and what all these people around them doing. Imagine that trauma on two impressionable minds.
Yeah. They're gonna
And
grow
then
up
they're
to
about, the oldest one's about to go off into the real world. So
absolutely.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing that he did do, and even though the song is like, because he not even on his own level, but I like the song. Sorry, that's the only. He not on his own level.
We took that song and just he thought he was insulting us, and it was so funny. I made a remix of it on my equipment.
Yeah.
Kimberly did a remake of it, and we just had fun with it. And he got so angry because he thought he was insulting us, and it was hilarious.
It really was.
Bragging about eating at a Ruth Chris restaurant, and I told him after the song, his little video came out. I said, "Dude, there are places in Manhattan that you will pay $100 a plate to eat a steak dinner. You bragging about some place in Atlanta? Really? You never had a dinner on a table with white linen, and you so proud of it."
We got Peter Luger's over here. Like,
yeah, we got that over here too.
Exactly. He don't even know about that. But what makes it so bad? Larry once lived in New York for 6 months. Him, Kendall, and Buddha.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try to figure out who this Buddha is because like I said the other day.
The original show, when you look at the original Larry Reid live shows, he was the co-host with Larry.
Well, I didn't sign on to his show that early in the game. Like I said, I was like around 2018, 2019.
All the graphics and stuff that you see, that's all Buddha's work. And see, that was who he secretly was, touching bread baskets with and in love with.
That was a question. I said, wait a minute. That's the first time I heard that bread basket. I said, bread basket?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, because I came out with it. I was like, Bishop bread basket. She was like, who are you talking about? I said, that's a nickname that my new vlogger that I watch. That's a nickname that he gave Larry Reid. She was like, what does that mean?
Oh, you're in the bread basket, and he doing this. So I said, okay, you want to talk about bread basket? Bishop bread basket. I gave him that because he gave me the name Cigar Vlogger because he tried.
But that's a dope name.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be called no bread basket.
Right. He called himself trying to diss me. Right. He was like, "Oh, that cigar guy, the cigar smoking guy, the cigar vlogger." So I said, I was looking for a catchy name. I said, darn, that's kind of catchy. I smoke cigars. I'm blogging. Boom. And next thing you know, hashtag cigar vlogger's been everywhere. And everything that he tried to do to hurt me, or he thought to offend me or hurt me, it flipped and it made me popular.
Right. Because that's a nice name.
Yeah. I mean, it made me popular because all over now, if they say, "Oh, Darryl Moore's talking about Larry Reid," that don't have as big a ring, but it says the cigar vlogger.
That shit is
That's like, and it's just took off. And he thought he was insulting me by calling me the cigar guy because he's a religious guy. He tried to put me down. Oh, that guy's smoking cigars. Yeah, I'm smoking a cigar, drinking my dark liquor, and I would hold up in the camera. And then so I changed the whole mode of my show. Every show, you always see me smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
And
he ain't that holy and righteous and paper Bible says if he in the bread baskets now.
And
there you go.
Time if he is either he eats something or jack off or something. That's what
he said. He said, late at night, I'm in the mood. I either eat some food or I jack off. So I decided to eat tonight instead.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he said that. I got it on my computer. He said that.
He has been saying little things that's been questionable to me lately. I'm like, wait a minute now. It's like it's coming out slowly but surely.
There you go. Because he's been saying it all along, but people have been ignoring it. And because other people are starting to point it out now, it's become more and more obvious.
Yeah, right. When you don't pay attention to certain things, you don't really catch it until somebody actually puts it out there.
You're naive.
Yeah, naive to it because I really wasn't paying to certain things that he was saying. Like when he had the interview with Kurt's son, and him and him was like,
Carry
carry on. I was like, yeah, well, then find me a boyfriend, and then he was like, yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute, you agreeing with this? Like, yeah, Larry was a little in question at that point in time for me because I didn't even know about half the things that he had before.
You look at that T.S. Madison interview when T.S. Madison's two co-hosts turned their back on him, they was about to go in on him. He's like, well, when the lights off, I don't care who's sucking.
Wait, I think he did say something about yes, he did. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yes, he did.
He said Larry's on the rough side of the mountain.
He showed Brokeback Mountain at that. Oh my goodness,
bro.
Yeah. He's in bad shape, bro. I mean, but all the stuff that I put together, like when he said, if somebody ever accused me publicly, I would deny it. He had said that 2 years ago, but nobody paid it any attention until this stuff started breaking.
True. But when he said that, that's when my alarm went off, you know. Remember I told you yesterday, I said there were certain things that he said from before. It's like I wasn't LR at first, but then when he said that, I was like, wait, what? Certain things that, you know, if there's an allegation that comes out, he's gonna deny it. I was like, so you mean to say that there's something that you're hiding and it's gonna come out very soon?
Exactly. That's my point.
He not that's why I said he's not as transparent as he should be. And that's so silly. You need to, as he would say, take front before it takes you, before, you know, these things come out about you and you have to sit here and lie about it. You don't have to do all of that.
Larry.
If that's what you are, that's what you are.
Larry, as us Trinidadians say, I go say it in a Trinidadian dialect. You better take front before front take you, you know. Because right now front taking you. We're taking you. Gone, just so. Just so.
It's just the way you said it. It just makes me laugh, and I can remember hearing stuff like that riding the train. When I moved to New York, I sold my car. I would just ride around on the train. That's how I got to learn stuff so well. And I would hear people talking like that, and it would just crack me up.
We're saying, man.
Yeah, you better take front before front take him, but he might be wanting to be in the back anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Well.
Pearls clutched on that one. Lord have mercy. Listen, and it's so crazy because people are
she got you to do
people are
okay.
So, you know, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
All right.
That's right. That's exactly what he said, Sandra. That's right. That's exactly what he said.
I didn't know that.
Can I call you back in the next 10 minutes?
I didn't know that Larry was this type of way. It is better for you to.
Okay.
And like I said, that's what I was saying. In this day and age, it's so easy for you to be the next gender if you wanted to be.
Yeah, just be honest. Don't lie.
But yeah, just be honest. It's just really like, but I guess he's trying to keep that image of what he had before, because you said that he used to be a pastor, right? I think. Or
he was a pastor for 20 years. And then even with that, Darryl broke that down like line by line, year by year. You were pastoring, but at the end of the day, who were you pastoring? He said he had a mega church.
He had an international ministry and all that.
Oh, see, well then he must have came with all the mine. That's what I heard about him at first.
He tried to get engaged to this lady that was from Jamaica, but she lives in London and she's like 20 years older than him. And he was trying to con her because she had an international ministry. And he was trying to merge his little storefront situation into her ministry. And she saw through it. I guess she woke up one day and cut him loose. But that was the lie he was telling. The largest congregation he ever had was about 50 people. And half of them left when he tried to do that whole gay affirming church thing. Half his members walked out.
He tried to address that the
Oh,
other
man.
day on his previous live. He said, "Oh, I never sold any church to any LGBT group.
That's a lie.
He sold the
Because
building."
I got the contact information for that church, the name of the congregation. Because in fact, the denomination they're a member of, there's a LGBT affirming church less than 3.5 miles from my house. The
Ooh.
same congregation. They bought all his equipment. They bought the building and everything. I even put the name of the church in one of my videos last year. So now, why he waiting until 2021 to try to shoot that down now when I talked about it a whole year ago and gave the name of the new church? Just tell the truth. You got. You just got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, little fella. You was a liar.
In the bread basket.
In the bread basket.
Yeah, got caught with his hands kneading the dough in the bread basket.
Hands got sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
In more ways than one.
Not to mention that Darryl had a picture of Larry and Chamaco the other day. You saw that, right?
Oh yes, that made all the sense in the world. Like, first of all, this Chamaco dude is a little in question himself.
Oh, he ain't a little. No.
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 Oh no.
No.
Oh,
No. Out of his own mouth, the victim that I'm going to interview, he said it in the room with the victim and other people. And mind you, Chamaco's ex-wife is Larry's first cousin.
Right.
Not first cousin, they're cousins. Larry and Chamaco's ex-wife are cousins. He said, if my wife were dying and Larry was dying and I can only save one, I would save Larry because I can get another wife, but I need Larry.
Oh.
That is a brainwashed cult following right there. He said that about the woman that had his child. I can get another wife. I can't get another Larry. I need Larry.
And wasn't he out in Chamaco's dad?
Yes, he was. Larry exposed the fact that Chamaco's father had an affair, and then after his dad, he ruined his dad's pastoring that church. He followed Larry and been with Larry ever since.
Oh my, that's weird. That's really weird.
The victim said Larry runs that church like a cult. Like, say the two of you were in Larry's church and he got mad at AJ because he might have, for whatever reason, the two of y'all got married while y'all together in the church, and he didn't approve of the fact that AJ and you got married. He would exile both of y'all out the church.
Oh.
Unless they say one of your siblings is still a member of the church, he would forbid them to talk to you, just like the Jehovah's Witnesses do when they kick somebody out.
Oh my.
Uh-huh.
That's not good. That's not good.
And
he like the guy who killed everybody who gave everybody the
Kool-Aid. Jim Jones. I always keep saying that.
Yes, exactly. And that's what he equated Larry's congregation to, because originally they were in one town in North Carolina, and he said, well, God told me to move. So he moved to Raleigh. All of these people, he only had 20, 30 families uprooted their whole life to move 70 miles north of where they were to follow him. They had nowhere to stay. None of them had no jobs. They was either sleeping on Chamaco's floor or over at Larry's house. Most of them stayed over with Chamaco. So you had 20 families of people in one house. Almost.
Oh my.
Sleeping on the floor. What kind of nonsense?
Everywhere they get laid. Yeah. Men, women, and children. 20 families. Not 20 people, mind you. 20 families.
20 families. Oh my goodness.
Different groups of people.
Oh my
so you're talking about easily, on average, maybe 60, 70 people in a house. I don't know how big the house was. That's a lot of people with a bathroom and kitchen.
Ooh, I wonder what it smelled like in there.
Oh,
oh my goodness!
Would probably smell better than that.
Probably.
Yeah,
ouch! I didn't know.
And on top of that, Chamaco's ex-wife was alleged to be running through a lot of the women in the church, and then Chamaco was. As the Jamaicans say, a bati boy. And so, you can imagine what was going on up in that little house.
Didn't I say that when I seen the video?
As Larry would say, different sextivities was going on.
Yeah, and then he called him in the middle of the night for him to get his feet massaged, his ear tickled with a bobby pin so he could go to sleep. And all he was tickling.
What?
Yeah. He said some night because in the middle of the night he couldn't sleep.
He couldn't sleep.
Chamaco and some of the other guys in the church, Chamaco or Kendall or Buddha, they would go up there, they massage his feet or tickle his ear or put their knee in his back or on his leg so he feel the pressure of being pushed on so he could go to sleep. And all
Why would he need to be pushed on?
Yeah, that ain't
He needs to feel the pressure.
He had a whole wife at the time. She's sleeping in the bed, he laying on the floor.
Imagine me sleeping on the floor and you sleeping on the bed.
It's a little questionable.
Ain't a little questionable. You should have waited in the middle of the night. You should have just threw some hot water out on the floor. Like, ooh, you were down there. My fault.
Boy, some of that oil and busted down. You like your ear tickled so much.
Yeah, get it some oil from the drugstore and put it in your ear and put some cotton. Talking about you need your ear tickled. I tickle your ear all right with some potash or some red pepper.
Harry, I think I seen the kids and the wife and the ex-wife wink. You need to save them.
Oh my goodness. Hey, yeah, somebody need to
Darryl.
save them.
Yeah. I think I seen the ex-wife and the kids wink. You gotta save them.
I told him, I said, if y'all need help, just blink 2 times. I know I'll send somebody. We'll get you to a safe place, to a safe house.
I think the youngest one, I think she was winking in that video.
I know she was. Cause you saw that video. You saw the look on that poor child's face. That child was like,
yeah, she looked mortified.
She was like, please, somebody get me. Please. Please.
She didn't want to be a part of the song.
No, she don't want a part of nothing. Dealing with that. As soon as that child hit 18, she is the first thing she's gonna join the military or the circus or something.
Yeah, that particular one, because that day when I seen that, she was just there like, somebody help me.
Yeah,
and then that little
somebody
boy
please help me.
With the crown on his head, that was Chamaco's son. Yeah, the one that had the crown on his head, that was Chamaco's son. He's 13, he's about 6 feet tall.
Lord,
yeah, and he be on
passed out now, Jesus.
Yeah, he be on social media twerking, talking about where the pretty boys at. Yeah,
but Jamaco and Larry don't want to come out and be transparent about it. His son could be.
Oh, let me just clean my glasses for that one.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible.
You said what now? I'm gonna have to talk like your Southerners. You said what now?
That's right. Say what now? And see, down south, like y'all don't say TH words down south. We cut everything off on there. Say what now?
All right, say what now?
Ain't no OW, NAH. What now? WUTNAH. What now? One word. Put it all together.
Oh my goodness, that's
crazy. They doing all of that because he likes to brag, talking about, I live in this big mansion and whatever. He got a house paying $5,500 a month rent, and the house in Jordan name. And he can't even afford to put curtains in the house.
House sounding clear like there's nobody in there. Like there's
it might be a rental that he can do his show.
He's renting it. He's renting the Jordan got the house in his name. He's renting it. He's the person that actually owns the house. See, they so dumb. This is my house. Oh, really? Well, these tax records say this person owns the house, and him and his wife own the house. And then this right here, the leasing agreement say the house is rented out to such and such, and that don't have your name on it at all, Larry Reid. But he tells these people he got a house and he got a car and all of that. He can't qualify to get a porta potty in his name. He has 4 bankruptcies. 4 bankruptcies in the last, since 2006, I want to say. He's had 4 bankruptcies. Wow. He's moved, on average, he's moved every 7 months. Since the age of 18, he's moved every 7 months, he moved somewhere. On average. He's had 36 moves since he was 18.
Oh my!
And we want to be on his level,
right? That's not a level I want to be on.
That's what he say. And he calls me the elder.
As I said, he's not even on his own level.
Right. I turned 52 in 2 months. I can count on one hand my addresses that I've had since I've been 18. And since he's been 18, the last 25 years, I've been an adult longer than he's been out on his own, and he's had 36 movies. He's about to make number 37 because he's bragging, telling people he's moving to California. And that's going to be a horrible decision because if he's paying $5,500 in Atlanta, he's going to be paying $10,000 or more in LA and get less of a house, less size.
Well,
And
he has
that's
his
not
own.
fair. He hasn't even fed himself or paid any other bills. That's just in rent.
Oh, ouch. That's a lot of money.
LA is more expensive than New York City.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that is true.
That is true.
But where's he getting this money from if he's so broke?
There you go.
The LRLs.
Yeah, that's who foots his bill. Because he bragged the other day, and he don't think I saw the video. He claimed that he got 8,000 people in Patreon, and he charges them $12 a month. So if you got 8,000 times $144 is what each one of these people pay a year. He's walking away with almost $1,152,000 a year, something like that. I did the total last night.
Tax free.
Wow.
Tax free money. He ain't paying no taxes because here's the scam was going to get him caught. They donate to LRL, but it's not a nonprofit. He tells people, "Oh, you can write it off of your tax. You can't donate to a for profit and then turn around and write it off as tax deductible because it's not a charitable organization. It's not a religious organization. Because
Right.
LRL is listed on the PPP loan that he got. It's listed as a record label, but MBN Network is supposed to be the nonprofit / church. That's why he's trying to restructure everything. But he funnels all the money from the nonprofit over into the for-profit. Well, I'm sorry. He puts it the other way around. That way he avoids paying tax. He'll get the money through LRL and funnel it over to MBN. That way when it comes tax time, he ain't paying no taxes. But he don't know that's illegal to do that. Because people gave money to you on another entity and you transfer. It's basically like money laundering.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
But
ooh, Larry.
His days are
You
coming.
in troubles now.
He in big trouble. It's only gonna get. He's out on vacation with those extra tight shorts on and black t-shirts, and sitting around talking about, I haven't ever taken a vacation to Miami. I've never been to Miami. This is the first vacation I've ever taken by myself. Then come to find out, Chamaco came down there later because they took the picture that I put up, and then the other guy that was down there, his other friend, was down there. Because I'm like, if you're on vacation by yourself, how you taking all them selfies? How you taking all them pictures? Who are you talking to while you doing your live videos? Because you keep talking over to the guy, and I found out the guy that was sitting there with him, and that man's married with 3 kids, but you down there on the beach
with another man.
Oh my Lord.
Down by the beach.
Down by the beach with old Dexter St. Jacques.
Oh my goodness.
Doing some
Wow.
South Beach.
Oh, so this is a breadbasket fest.
Well, first off, they got the ball rolling. They went out to Las Vegas, the 4 of them. Now, who goes to Las Vegas and gets a hotel suite? 4 men.
Marcellus said, correction, money is sent to MBN Network. That was his nonprofit that houses Larry Reid Live. He is now changing all of that due to us, you guys exposing it.
Ooh.
That's right. That's it right there. I tripped it up a little bit. Marcellus just cleared it up. All the money sent there so he don't pay no taxes, and then he diverts it out so he can get his hands on it. But see, here's the thing. Anybody, this is what's going to get Larry really, really jammed up. You and your wife, me, or anybody just walking down the street that's over the age of 18 could walk up to Larry Reid or email him or call him and say, I want to see your financial records for the MBN Network. And he has to produce them. And if he doesn't, because anybody that has a nonprofit in the United States, they are required by law to produce their financials to you.
Absolutely.
If you don't, you turn them in and they lose their nonprofit status. And they cease to exist.
Oh, okay.
And Larry Reid has not responded to my request yet for his financials. I'm just putting that out there. I'm giving you the breaking story. Larry Reid has not responded to me with his financials. I feel led to turn him in.
He ain't got him. That's what it is,
I
huh?
like that. You know, I like that phrase. I like that phrase. He feels led.
Yeah,
Hold your hand to your chest, Darryl. You gotta
you
hold
feel
your
you
hand to
just.
you feel led.
I feel led by the Spirit.
Led by the Spirit.
I did tell him that last night. I was like, "What is up with these down south people talking about they led by something?"
He was led by the Spirit.
I feel led by the
Well,
Spirit.
let the Spirit lead, honey.
Let the Spirit lead you, bro.
That's right. It don't lead me wrong, because He has not supplied His financials, and that's an issue. That's an illegal thing. I'm serious. If you go to a person that's running a nonprofit and you request, they either have to email it to you or they either have to give you a hard copy. Most people, because it's cheaper, they'll just email it to you.
Okay.
But they have to do it within a certain time frame. And I sat back and I just waited. And I did that last year, and he has yet to respond.
A whole 365.
You have you technically you're only supposed you're supposed to respond within 30 days.
Wow.
I gave him 6 months.
It turned into a year.
Because he hadn't done it. He think nobody's gonna turn him in. But like I said, I just feel led by the Spirit to just, like, hey, little buddy's not turning over his financials like he should. I think y'all might want to jump on that and take that nonprofit status back. And then he'll have to restructure his company all over again. And his people will be in my comments harassing me again, calling. I get called. Let's see what I've been called. The Antichrist. No, I haven't been called the Antichrist yet. I'll tell you that. I've been called the evil villain, senile, mentally unstable, insane, the elderly, a devil.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've been called some humdingers. These by church people, remind you. I've been called all this by people that are in the church.
But let's not forget the evil villain was posted on by Larry when he was in that airport looking around. Somebody was out to get him.
Like he transporting a Kia dope in his bag. You're like, ooh, somebody dope. I'm like, if you haven't done anything, you wouldn't be looking over your shoulder like that. If you wasn't on the run, you wouldn't be looking over your shoulder like that. If you were innocent of the allegations that have been made against you, you would have addressed it by now. You'd be like, okay, I didn't do this. From this point forward, my lawyer will be handling all questions. And that's the end of it. That would have been the end of it right there. But when you fail to come out and even address when people come into your show on your chat and say, well, what's up with this allegation? Why are you in public so much? And then you get mad and you delete and block people that subscribe to you. And then you cuss. The other night he got mad and cussed. I'm like, y'all are just ignorant as. Yeah, he went off. It got so bad that Chamaco sent him a message, told him to log off.
Log off, Larry. Log off.
He said, Chamaco and my mama don't tell me to log off. I was okay. Keep hanging yourself. Keep hanging yourself. I'm just here for the party.
Right?
Well, wow, we have the whole entire A team here. I'm so honored that the whole A team here. Marcellus, Speak Your Truth, Roxanne. You got to let me see a transcript.
Yeah.
I feel so honored today that the whole entire A team is here today.
Man.
Poor guys.
Yes, we actually watch you guys, and for you, well,
thank you. You know what's so funny when I'm watching AJ? AJ was the first time I watched him. He driving, right? He pulls up at a stop. I said, is this brother really picking up some kids? And he told somebody, and I guess they were standing around too long. He said, he looked over his shoulder, then Miss B said, you got 1 minute. And went right back. Doing his show. I mean, he told it. And then I guess the person thought he was playing. He looked over his shoulder. He said, you have 1 minute. And then went right back to the show. I said, he ain't break character or nothing. Like, and he's like, yeah. I said, he got to be a real deal driver to bring that big transportation vehicle through them narrow streets.
Yeah, man. Listen, I got to deal with these parents every day, and it's been like about 4 years. I've had that same route for 4 years, and to be honest with you,
spoiled kids.
Yep, and to be honest with you, like they know the deal with me at the end of the day. Like I pick them up and I give them about 2 minutes, and when I pulled up, this one parent, man, like she gets me on my nerves all the time. So when I reach there, the teacher knows what time it is. Like once I pull up there, I tell you, yo, she got 1 minute. It's literally 60 seconds. Once that last second goes down, it's over. I'm out. Door closed. I'm gone. So yeah, it is what it is, man.
Because if you missed your ride, every 3 or 4 blocks there's a train entrance. You better make it happen.
Nah, them they go to school at it's a local school. It's not too far from where I do all my pickups. It's like about 10 blocks south from them. So for them, they just have to walk to school.
Yeah, but here's the tripped out part. Some of them kids have never walked anywhere.
Well, these set of kids, they're Jewish, so
yeah. Oh, I take it back. Yeah, they walk everywhere on what sundown Friday till Sunday.
Mhm.
They don't walk. They walk everywhere. That was something that was interesting to me too.
Yeah.
And here in Ohio, where I live now, we have a large Jewish community. Like today, you see them just walking everywhere. They don't drive nowhere.
After 6:30, I think it's sundown is 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they're gonna stop driving in a couple.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't hear the alarm go off yet, so it's not time yet.
And the ones that wear the big black hat and the black suit, I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Those are the Hasidic Jews.
Yeah, that's we have a lot of Hasidic Jews here.
Yeah.
Oh, they
And
got
I was
Jews in the
shocked.
house? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere. But I thought it was
My
just,
cousins are from Ohio. Well, they're not from Ohio. They live in Ohio now.
I thought Hasidic Jews would primarily be in New York or New Jersey area. No, it's a big community of them here. We have probably more synagogues. The only place that probably got more synagogues than us that I've seen has been New York City area. We have synagogues everywhere, and they all protected by off-duty cops because they get death threats all the time.
Yeah, as recently we've been getting that too. We have a lot of protection from off-duty cops from the location where I work, and then you have Williamsburg, you got Borough Park, you got Far Rockaway, got a lot of different areas. You got Midwood section. You got a lot of sections, and it's a lot of cops, not off-duty, but they're on duty, but they're auxiliary cops that they provide security.
You had to take them kids one day, take them over there to Junior's, get some cheesecake.
Oh, we done been there.
I was not impressed with Junior's cheesecake.
No?
I thought it was
good.
It's all right. It's a place down the street that's better than me. I forget the name of it. I almost called the name of it. But it was a little mom and pop place down the street. But I just went to Junior's to say I've been to Junior's. I actually, no lie, I walked across the bridge to Junior's from Manhattan just to say I walked the bridge.
But that's an experience. At least you can say you walked the bridge.
I took a picture on the bridge because the midway point, they had a little thing. A lot of people get engaged and propose marriage to their girlfriends on that little middle spot.
Yeah.
The only thing, when I looked down and saw the traffic under me, that's when my stomach started hurting. I got nervous. I'm from down south. I ain't used to nothing driving up under me like that. That's what
I hear you.
And
we got tall buildings, tall everything over here.
That didn't bother me so much. But what got me, though, I'll tell you this funny story. The first night I was in New York, we went to a party. As soon as you cross that bridge, it's a McDonald's. As soon as you cross the bridge, and there's a big building right next to it. Hot 97 was throwing a rooftop party. I had never been to nothing like that. So I said, wait a minute. I said, are you serious? They throwing a party on the roof of this building? He was like, yeah. My partner that I was staying with, when I first got there, I said, man, I ain't going up there. So he's like, man, let's just catch the freight elevator. Go. I said, man, I'm not going up there. I said, I'll sit in the car until you ready to come out. I'll just go to sleep in the car. Man, don't be like that. So we hopped this freight elevator. I ain't never been on no freight elevator. You know when you close the little metal thing?
Yeah, that one.
I'm terrified. I'm all the way in the back of this thing. I'm scared. We get out. People just leaning on the edge of the building like ain't nothing to it. I'm like, do you realize we 8 floors up?
Us New Yorkers, we're actually used to that.
Man, so okay, they were having a music, a party / fashion show, right? So we had to get off at we was able to catch the regular elevator up to the 6th floor, but we had to catch a freight to get on the roof. And the 2 floors above us, that's what the women were using as a dressing. Instead of them having a dressing room, they were getting dressed in the stairwell, so they had it blocked off. I said, man, I ain't riding that raggedy thing up to the roof. I said, these girls gonna have to let me through. No, them women in there, they ain't dressing. Some guy. And later on, I found out it was Mr. C. Yeah, him, the gay guy. So I'm like, so I said, I looked over that elevator, that raggedy elevator, and the wires were sparking. I said, either I'm gonna take that and get killed and drop 6 flights, or I'm gonna go through this. So I said, think Darryl, how you gonna get him to let you pass? So I caught my friend's hand. I said, I got real Larry Reidish. I said, ain't nobody worried about this fish up in here. Come on, baby. And I caught him by the hand. I played like I was gay. And we walked up 2 flights of number butt naked women. And I got to the other end. My boy was laughing so hard. He said, man, you crazy as hell. I can't believe you just did that. Mr. C let you pass by. I said, man, I wasn't nowhere in the world. I was going to get up on rag the elevator with sparks and wires and loose wires and kill myself. Just because he don't want me to walk past some naked women. I said, I'm 40 years old. I've seen naked women before.
That's right.
I said, shoot, I'm trying to live. Then I get to the rooftop. I'm so scared. I'm standing in the middle of the party, scared to go to the edge. And everybody just drinking. They giving out. I said, I don't want nothing but bottled water, please. Well, we don't have that. It's tonight's party sponsored by such and such. I said, I don't care what it is. I want some water. I'm not drinking no alcohol. Because it'd be my luck. I get a little too tipsy and flip all the way down 8 flights. So that was the longest 3 hours of my life. I was terrified, and the wind was blowing, and I'm scared, and everybody's bumping into me, and I'm like, man, I can't do this.
You ready to go?
Yeah, this New York experience ain't. That was my first night in New York, and me and him laugh about that to this day. We walked through 2 flights of butt naked women, models, because I played like I was gas. I ain't worried about this fish. Come on, boy. And I caught him by the hand, and we went up them steps. Like, I will never believe you pulled this off. And I said, this is what it looked like backstage of a fashion show. These women being here totally naked.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
most
true.
of the guys that be back there with them are gay. So I said, I play like I'm gay. And they let me pass right through. Them girls didn't even give me a second thought. I said, and he said, I ain't never seen them many naked women unless I was in the strip club. I said, well, you got that one for free. Compliment for me.
There you go. There you go.
Right there in Brooklyn. That was my first time in Brooklyn, too. My first night in New York, my first time ever going to Brooklyn.
I know which building he's talking about.
It's right next to that McDonald's as soon as you get off the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
On the left.
I
wonder, is that Fulton? Is that Fulton?
No, that is if you're talking
what you gonna say?
If you was talking about after the bridge, you're talking about like downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah, but what's the name of that street though? It's right there as soon as you get off the bridge. Oh my God. Oh,
You got Smith Street, you got Skimmerhorn, you got
Is Fulton
I think it is Fulton.
Fulton is
Yeah,
over
it's
there.
Fulton. Because I was like, darn, y'all got a Fulton up here.
No, it's Flushing.
Flushing. That's it. It was somewhere with an F. And I just remember that big building right next to that McDonald's. And I was so glad when we got downstairs. I went straight over there to that McDonald's, get something to eat, because my stomach was just in knots from being on 8 flights up on a rooftop at a party with music blasting. And it was hundreds of people up there.
Oh my.
And the guy gonna tell me, you got to get out the way for the fashion show. I said, no, I'm about to be a part of this fashion show. I'm not going on the edge of this building so that this girl can run her little bony butt down the middle. No, she can walk around me. That's what she gonna do. Because when I tell you I was in the exact middle of that rooftop and I wasn't budging, because I was scared. They told me, you got to go over to the edge. I said, nope. I said, I was about to sit down Indian style right in the middle of the roof and refuse to be moved because I was scared.
He thought you was going to play part of the Bible. I shall not be moved.
That's like right, because I was terrified. You hear me? 8 flights up, and here I come from Atlanta. All the buildings that are high rise in Atlanta are glassed in. Ain't nobody going on a rooftop 8 flights up, especially playing on music, having a party. No, if you up that high, you hiding or doing something you ain't had no business doing. These people having a party on an old raggedy rooftop.
Only in New York.
It had to be at least 300-400 people there. On the roof.
I believe it.
On the roof. And the music blast, and the cops didn't even try to shut it down or nothing. They were blasting the music.
Only in New York.
Yeah,
I
and
have
that freaked me
rooftop
out.
restaurants and rooftop things. So
Yeah, I was telling him, remember, I don't know, a couple of years ago, remember when what was it? Chris Brown, I think Drake got in a fight in that little spot.
Yeah.
That, I was there that night.
oh yeah.
I had just walked outside to smoke a cigar because they didn't want to smoke it inside. And next thing I know, whoop, 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 people start running. I
Oh, so
think
you
that's
saw it
why I say
firsthand.
I have bad luck like that. I'm always in places when something like that jump off. That's why I'm always on the edge or either by the door because I always at the time I was about 300-400 pounds. I was a real big dude, so I couldn't run fast. So I was gonna get hurt if something jumped off.
I can't
Yeah,
even see that. You don't even look like you was there.
I used to weigh 425 pounds.
Oh
Right
my.
behind him. It's
That was
right
my
behind him.
heaviest weight. When I was in New York, if you look at some of my old pictures, because right around that time, my weight would go 360, 400, 360, 400, just fluctuate. And
Sure.
because I did a lot of walking in New York, so I would drop the weight, but then I'd turn around and gain it right back.
Oh.
Because I was walking everywhere. I had to walk down when I was in New Jersey. I had to walk from the downtown Newark to Penn Station, and I'd go over to Penn Station, New York, and I'm walking everywhere else. I never rode the bus, hardly ever rode the bus in New York. I always rode the train, but I'd have to walk to the train spot because I was always auditioning in Lower Manhattan, and then or either we were shooting out there at Silver Cup in Queens.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was always either there or in Manhattan auditioning. And then my talent agent was all the way on the she was on the Lower East Side, but she was on East, not East 55th, but on the West part. So I had to go all the way across Lower Manhattan. That's how I learned everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but remember, you've been in New York a while. Remember when that earthquake hit about 2000? I want to say 2012. That time, that little small earthquake hit.
The small earthquake, yeah.
It wasn't small to me, but it was. They said it was small. I was on the train heading into Times Square, and I thought it was a terrorist attack. I jumped off that damn train. And you know those red steps right in the middle of Times Square where everybody
Yeah.
I stayed out there for 6 hours. I was scared to go back. I walked down to the bus terminal and caught the bus back. I said, I'm not riding no train. I said,
no train. You'd be stuck.
I was so scared because the train shook like this and people were flying everywhere when that earthquake hit.
Oh my goodness.
And lights were going out on those marquees in Times Square. I was flickering. I was like, oh God, this was real. I thought it was a terrorist attack. Because when I used to come from New Jersey every day, if you rode the PATH train, we would get off down there at Ground Zero.
Okay.
And it was so scary because you could be anywhere else in New York, no wind, nothing. But as soon as you go to Times Square, the wind was always circling. And the day that they killed bin Laden, that wind stopped. I said, I'm never going back down there again.
Some spookiness going on over here.
Yeah, it was just like the souls of them people was finally at peace. I guess whoever caused them to die, he was with them. So I'm no lie. You could get off and be all over New York. Calm weather. As soon as you get down there where Ground Zero was, just whirlwind, all the time. And that's why I believe in the afterlife, because that was right there when they announced he died. I was there in Ground Zero that night when the flash came across and people outside, white people, out there celebrating, and I'm trying to get home and hop the train so I go back to New Jersey. New York. Yeah, I'm a country boy. I grew up. It's fun. What's so funny? Marcellus grew up in West North part of North Carolina. Me and Larry grew up less than an hour apart.
Yeah, Larry's from Pikesville.
Yeah, and I'm from a place called Fayetteville. And Marcellus, like the joke said, I don't go nowhere that's got a Ville in the name, because crazy people live in Villes. Because he's throwing off at me and Larry. Because Larry's from Pikesville, I'm from Fayetteville. Yeah, but actually, where I was born is where the military base was, Fort Bragg, and Marcellus over there in the mountain region. I was in the middle part of the state with Larry. Larry grew up not too far from 10 minutes away from where Frank Lucas grew up, because he's from Goldsboro.
Yeah.
Oh, so you and Larry knew each other for a long time.
I never
Nope.
heard
You
of
don't know.
Larry Reid until 2019 when my friend
Oh.
said, check this guy out. He's messy. He's a messy old sissy, but he's funny. Go look at him. And I started looking at him. I was just looking, laugh, and didn't think nothing of it because that church stuff don't faze me. But then when it broke that he took that money, and I asked him about it, I went to him in private. I said, Larry, did you take this bribe of $10,000? And then on top of that, I knew he was lying because I had a copy of the certified agreement that he signed. But this is when I knew Larry wasn't a legit doctorate. On the document, E. Dewey Smith signed his name Dr. E. Dewey Smith because he has a real PhD.
Right.
On Larry Reid's signature, it just says Larry Reid. Don't say nothing about no Dr. Larry Reid. It just says Larry Reid. And then the person that notarized the document, they signed it. And I got a copy of that, a real copy of it with all their signatures. And he claimed that he didn't take the bribe. I said, well, this document says you did. And it said in the writing, if any party to this agreement breaks the agreement, they owe the other person $250,000. So Larry went out there doing what he thought he could do. And then he got slick and started having Conscious TV do all the talking. But because Conscious TV worked for him, that's the same as Larry saying it. So they took him to court. He got he didn't take the lawsuit serious. So E. Dewey Smith got a default judgment of $250,000. He goes out in front of his people and tells them to lie that he beat the case. But you don't beat a case and then turn around and file an appeal in court. You lost. You lost because you didn't take the case serious. So he had to raise money to pay for the appeal and the surety bond because like the amount of money he lost was $250,000. So he had to come up with $25,000 in cash and put it with the court. He raised the money through donations from LRLers, but he tricked the money off. Didn't pay the money. And he had come up with some lie because I exposed the fact that he blew these people's money. I said, where'd the money go, Larry? You didn't pay your surety bond because I had the court. Because you can log into the courts down there in Georgia and see each time, like if AJ sued me, they have AJ versus Darryl. And if I'm supposed to pay some money, it keeps a record on the court case. Darryl Moore at such and such date and time paid AJ or paid the court X amount of dollars, and it registered, and because it's official stamp. He wasn't doing that, and they were about to put him handcuffs on him. So he goes out. He has another telethon. People wasn't feeling giving him money this time, but they gave him the money again anyway. But he still didn't use the money. He went and moved into that house that he's in now, had an executive chef, had a private party with Jordan and a couple of other people, about 8 or 9 people and a private chef. And he spent thousands of dollars on this camera equipment. I got the proof of that. He bragged about having a state-of-the-art security system put in the house, but you can't buy no curtains. Anyway, so he bragged about all that. He done tricked out these people money 2 times. So he done blew through $50,000, still ain't paid the court the $25,000. Because you have to get what's called a surety bond, but you have to go to a bonding agent. It's like insurance company. It's just like if AJ got arrested, we'd go to a bail bondsman, and we'd have to come up with 10%. Well, you go to these surety bond people, you go same 10%, and then they vouch for the rest of it until you go back to court, because the court wants to make sure that if you lose your appeal, the person that's suing you gets their money.
Right.
That's how it works down that way. So he didn't pay the money. He tricked out $50,000, and then he panicking because the court finally said, this is why he got mad at me. I took all the videos where he was bragging about how much money he had because he was going to the court lying to the judge, saying, well, I don't have it. It's a financial hardship for me to pay it. So I sent the lawyers for the 2 preachers that were suing him. They said, Your Honor, here's a video of him bragging to his people that he got the money. So they said, the judge said, either you lying to this court or you lying to your subscribers. Which one is it? You got until such and such time, 4:30 by the close of business on Friday to come up with that money. So one of Jordan's people walks up to the window, drops 25 large on the window. He gets out in the public, I paid it. I said, no, you didn't, Larry. You didn't even go down there. The man that went down there is a little dark-skinned man with a beard. And I sent the picture because he didn't know that one of my college classmates worked at the clerk of the court's window where you pay the money. Larry never set foot down there because he didn't have the money. He had tricked it off. So Jordan, to save face, sent his fix-it man to make sure it got paid this time, sent him down there. And I sent my friend, I said, is this the guy that went to the window? She's like, yeah, I just got through processing the money for him. Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, I guess we're gonna see more tonight on the A team. I gotta cut it kind of short because my 3-year-old, he's in daycare, so I gotta go pick him up in quite a bit.
Right. Every minute you late, they want to charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Yep. They New York don't play that, especially with daycare over here. They don't play that. The minute we late,
$10 extra.
$10 right
That's
there.
all. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
That's reasonable because most places they hit you with $25, $30 for the first 10 minutes you late. And after that, it's 20, 25. Because they want to go home.
Yeah. Especially it's on a Friday, so they definitely want to go home.
Trying to hit that club. Mm-hmm.
But I'll definitely be on. I'll definitely be on the A team in the chat room. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be watching them.
Let me ask you something real quick because of the pandemic in New York, they don't do all those parades like they used to, Dominican Day, Puerto Rican Day, and all them other parades and stuff. It's not all that right.
Yep. We haven't had Labor Day. Last Labor Day, we didn't have Juve. Well, they attempted to have some kind of Juve on the trains and stuff like that.
Juve and Dominican, those are my only two parades I would love to go to. Lord have mercy. Anyway, y'all go.
You are just a mess, man. It was a pleasure having you on the show, on the Reflective Angle Show.
Thank you for having me.
Don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you live again when we come back on live again.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Just hit me up. Let me know, man. Anytime.
And to all the members on the A team, all the members in the chat room, especially the A team, it was a pleasure having, gracing for you guys to grace us with your presence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are a crew that I actually look up to as a YouTuber. You guys do great work. You produce great content, and you guys tell nothing but the truth, absolutely the truth. And I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. I like the support that you've been giving me for the past couple of days, and I appreciate everything, man. Let me see a transcript. My favorite history teacher.
All right. Y'all be great, man. Be good.
You too. Nice meeting you, Darryl.
Nice meeting you too. Take care.
You too.
And to all of our subscribers, remember to like, share, subscribe. The Respective Angle Show is back. We're definitely on right here and popping. Also log on to therespectiveangleshow.com. We do have a website that is therespectiveangleshow.com. Show your support. We appreciate the support that you guys pretty much put out today. Share the channel to your friends, your family members, whoever it is that you want to share it to. And we definitely will be back on another live on another time. But for right now, we got to pick up our kids before they charge us another arm and a leg. And we'll definitely go over to the A team and
look for that content tonight.
Look for that content. I know damn sure I will.
All right. Thank you guys for all the support, all the love, all the like, all the shares, all the everything, all the support that you guys has given us today.
Oh, thank you, Ingrid Gourrier.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, until next time, folks, this has been the Respective Angle Show, and we are outie.